Hello student, welcome back to my session. I am Shweta Patel, lecturer in VPMT Polytechnic. Today my topic is JVM and bytecode. This is again a topic of first chapter in a Java syllabus. The chapter name is Introduction to Java. The main objective of this session is what is JVM, how JVM works, what is bytecode. There are a lot of processes that go on while a program in a Java gets executed. One such concept like JVM and bytecode in a Java, which is the one of the reason how Java becomes a platform independent. So this session will help you in understanding JVM and bytecode along with its working and advantage. The last topic of this session is comparison of Java with C and C++. Now, we'll start with the JVM. What is the JVM? The full form of JVM is Java Virtual Machine. It is an abstract machine. JVM exists only inside the computer memory. JVM is simulate computer within the computer and does all major function of real machine. Java Virtual Machine is an engine that provide runtime environment to drive the Java code or Java application. It converts Java bytecode into a machine language. JVM is a part of JRE, that is a Java Runtime Environment. JVM are available for many hardware and software platforms. Mostly in other programming language, compiler produce a code for a particular system, but Java compiler produce bytecode for a Java virtual machine. When we compile a Java program, then bytecode is generated, and this bytecode is the source code that can be used to run on any platform. Bytecode is an intermediate language or intermediate code between the Java source and the host system. It is the medium which compiles Java code to bytecode, which gets interpreted on the different machine, and it make operating system as a platform independent. Now, we will see how JVM works in a Java. Normally, JVM works in a three phase in a Java. The first phase, it read the bytecode. Second phase, it verify the bytecode. And the last phase, that is the third phase, it linking the code with the library. Java is called platform independent because of Java virtual machine. As different computers with the different operating system have their JVM. When we submit the .class file, that is nothing but the bytecode to any operating system, JVM interpreter interpret this bytecode, convert this bytecode into a machine language, that is the machine level language. JVM is the main component of Java architecture, and it is the part of JRE, Java Runtime Environment. A program of JVM is written in a C programming language. JVM is a operating system dependent, but using the JVM, Java become a platform independent. JVM is responsible for allocating and deallocating the necessary memory used by or required by the Java programs. Now, we discuss about the bytecode. Bytecode is also one another reason which makes Java platform independent. As soon as a Java program is compiled, bytecode is generated. To be more precise, a Java bytecode is the machine code in the form of a .class file, which is generated by the Java compiler. When Java program is executed, The compiler compiles that piece of code and bytecode is generated for each method in that program in the form of .class file. Bytecode in a Java is the instruction set for a Java virtual machine, and it acts as similar to an assembler. We can also say that bytecode is an object-oriented programming code, which is used to compile to run on a virtual machine instead of in a central processing unit. We can run this bytecode on any platform as well, but bytecode is a non-runnable code and that required interpreter, and this interpreter, it is nothing but JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Now we will discuss how JVM work in a Java. Java is a two-stage programming language in which it uses the two tools for executing the whole Java program. The first one is a Java compiler and the second one is a Java interpreter. When we write Java code with the .java extension, then firstly, the compiler compiles that program and that code, and a bytecode is generated for the piece of code. When we wish to run this .class file on any platform, we can do so on. After the first compilation, the bytecode generated is now run by the Java virtual machine. That is, different platform have a different JVM and not the processor in a consideration. This is essential means that we only need to have a basic Java installation on any platform that we want available by a JVM, that is a Java virtual machine, which calls the processor to allocate the required resource. JVM are state-based. JVM are a state-based. So they provide a stack implementation to read the code. Platform independence is one of the solution, or we can say that one of the reason for Java, and that's why James Gosling started the formation of Java. And it is the implementation of bytecode which help us to achieve this. And this is the main advantage of bytecode as well as JVM for Java to make it platform independence. We discuss the next topic, comparison with Java, C and C++. We consider some concepts which are supported by C and C++ and which is not supported by Java. Java is a true object-oriented programming language, and Java removes some limitation of C and C++. Now, we will discuss each topic with the details. First, paradigm of Java is object-oriented, while the paradigm of C is procedural-oriented, and C++ have a object-oriented. Platform dependency. C and C++ both are platform dependent, while Java is a platform independent. C support 32 keywords, while C++ supports 63 keywords, while Java have 50 plus defined keywords. Data types like a union and structure. C and C++ support union and structure, but Java does not support union and structure. Preprocessor directives like header files. C and C++ both support header files like #include stdio.h, #include iostream.h, but Java does not support any preprocessor directives. Header files. C and C++ both are support header files, but Java use packages and use the import keyword to import the packages. Inheritance. C does not support any type of inheritance. C++ support inheritance. Java also support inheritance, but Java does not support multiple inheritance. So we have to use interface to implement multiple inheritance in a Java. Pointer. C and C++ both support a pointer, which create a complexity in C and C++. So Java does not support a pointer and it removes the limitation of C and C++ like a pointer. Multi-threading and interface. C and C++ does not support multi-threading and interface, but Java support multi-threading and interface. And this is the features of Java. This is the main features of Java which increase the performance of Java using a multi-threading and interface. Now, exception handling. Exception handling is a mechanism which is used to find and handle the errors in a proper way. C does not support exception handling. C++ support exception handling, but Java support in a proper way exception handling. Database connectivity. C and C++ does not support database connectivity. That means we can't create the application which support the database in a C and C++. But in a Java, we can create the database using the JDBC drivers. Hope you have clear all the topic of JVM, bytecode and comparison with the C and C++. So I end this lecture. If you like this video, then subscribe it. Thank you.